I did an interesting poll. Got a YouTube page going. We got a community center. You got places you can do polls, but the polls are massive. Like, you guys weigh in, not to mention that's a real focused group. You take any marketing class, right? Like, you couldn't have a better group. And I've shared this with you guys, and I'm not shining my own wheels. This really is the truth. If you have an idea as a promoter, whatever that idea is, but if you have an idea, you can bring in an analytics department, and they do. And you can pay them a bunch of money, and you can have algorithms, which, by the way, just spoiler alert, they don't exist. The algorithm guy that comes in and he's going to be the bean counter for you and he's got a proprietary algorithm. No, he doesn't. But just so you understand, or for free, you can send me a text and I'll make a video about it. Real simple. Promoters do it all the time, and I do it all the time, and I'm happy to do it, and I don't mind, and I share it with you guys. It's all objective, it's all above board, and we just want to take your temperature. Who's the first one to say to you, how would you like to see an ultimate fighter between Chandler and Conor McGregor? What do you think, I just pulled that out of thin air? No, I got tipped off. I got asked to go and do it, but I share this for you because I did a poll today, and I just want to know who you wanted to see next for Rakhmonov. And I've done these polls, guys, in 1 hour one time. I had 120,000 of you weigh in 60 minutes. That's a wildly successive poll. But it also helps tell the industry what you wanted to do. Now, I did a poll today. Who do you want to see Rakhmonov fight next? Do you want to know what you guys wanted to see least? Because we had 2 suggestions Saturday. Just to remind you where this is coming from. We had 2 suggestions on Saturday. Title fight, Colby Covington. Joe Rogan had suggested title fight. I mean, that was wildly helpful. Wildly helpful. Even if Joe misspoke, those words are massive. Now, Rakhmonov understood Joe probably misspoke. So Rakhmonov just said himself, well, I'll take the title fight, or I'll take on Colby Covington. So that's where we had these 2 options. Just to remind you guys, this is where these 2 options come from. So that carries over to the press conference. And Dana, much like Rakhmonov, thought that Joe misspoke. And Dana quickly pulls it back, but he does put it on Colby. And he says, I'd be interested in that fight. And then he put Colby over. He said, you know what? We've actually 2 other offers for Colby. And Colby's accepted them both. Something happened between the organization or the commission involved or likely the opponent. Something happened, but it wasn't on Colby's side of it. Twice. Talks about that he would like this. And you guys in the poll wanted Colby massively. Massively. It was 58% at the time that I sat down to make you this piece. 58% of you wanted to see Colby, but I'm not convinced. How do you like that? I'm not convinced that you do. I'm not convinced you want to see Rakhmonov versus Covington. I think you might have misinterpreted the poll. I think you want to see Colby fight. So now I got to get clarity from you guys. I'm telling you how important these polls are, right? I'm telling you when I put these and I bring you these topics. Somebody is tired of paying the bean counters with an algorithm that doesn't exist, who just happens to have their thumb on it, when all that guy needs to do is go to Chael Sonnen's page and see what the community actually wants. Not some of the time, not most of the time, not a pretty good indicator, 100% of the time. You guys, I'm shining you up, not myself. You guys will let the industry know what they want. And right now you're saying you want to say Rakhmonov versus Covington, and I just think that you interpreted the poll wrong. Am I wrong? Is that arrogant of me? I mean, I'm the one that wrote the poll, but I feel like maybe I miswrote the poll. I don't think you want to see Colby versus Rakhmonov. The only reason I said you've never said that. You've never once said you want to see Colby versus Rakhmonov. You said you want to see Colby versus Chimaev. And somehow, and Rakhmonov did a very good job of this. And maybe I got to give Danny the credit, his manager. But somebody somewhere made Rakhmonov the equal to Chimaev. Somebody somewhere brought these 2 guys up, and they brought their age up, and they brought their weight class up, and they brought their records up, and they brought their geographical locations up, and they brought their histories up, and they made them equal. Somebody did that. And then it turned into, ooh, how about we just get these guys to each other? Now, the UFC's they're just not going to do that for us. But the conversation was out there, and it was helpful. And as soon as Chimaev goes up a weight, boom, there you got Rakhmonov. With whoever created the fact that he is Chimaev. He's the same guy. He's equal to. He's better than. He's much like. And I bring that to you because, again, I think you heard the question wrong. You said you want to see Chimaev versus Colby. So Chimaev's now gone, and Rakhmonov is left here with the comparison that he was like Chimaev, and I think you're defaulting to it. I don't think that's what you mean. I think that you understand full well that Colby Covington is the clearest number one contender in our entire industry, any weight class, any organization. Bellator, one championship, king of the cage, for goodness sakes, if they're still putting on events. Colby Covington is the clearest number one contender that we have. I think you believe that. I think you believe the winner of Usman Edwards goes into Colby. I think that you believe that. I think that you miss Colby. I think that you haven't seen Colby. I think the supply and demand is there. I think Colby's got something going with Masvidal in this legal case, and that's all we heard from him. We haven't seen the training videos, and we haven't got him announced. And the last time we saw him, he was in a main event against Masvidal, being a BMF champion and not being awarded the BMF belt. And we miss him, and we want him to come back. That's what I think. I don't think you want to see him versus Rakhmonov. I just want to be clear. I'm asking you this because I feel I typed it wrong. You've never said you want to see Colby versus Rakhmonov. That has never been spoken, but it was Saturday. It was spoken on a very big stage. Only takes once, maybe it won you over, but maybe I wrote the question wrong. So do you want to see Colby really bad, or do you want to see Colby specifically versus Rakhmonov? Help me out. Let's get this clear.